I'm going to head down to Walmart to pick up an inexpensive storage bin. This one is perfect. I'm also going to pick up what's called a 1x3. They're 6 foot long. I'm going to cut them in half to make 3-foot pieces. I need 4 of these. I'm also going to pick up some fur strips. They come in a package and they're really inexpensive, and they're also rounded on all 4 sides. I'm going to take the storage bin and measure the width, and I also need to measure the length. I'm going to add 1.5 inches to each side. Once I do that, I'm going to start cutting the fur strips. I'm going to cut a bunch of these. I need them all around to surround the legs. Once I get that, I'm going to take those 2 legs, put them up on their sides, and I'm going to run some glue. Because I ran the glue, when I put the fur strips down, I only need to use 1 brad nail to hold it in place, because then eventually the glue will dry, making it extra strong. On the bottom of my legs, I'm going to measure up 6 inches, put some glue down, and I'm going to put 1 fur strip. This is going to make my legs really strong at the bottom. Once I get the brace on the bottom done, I'm going to put 6 more of these fur strips up, so I will actually have a total of 6 across the top. I'm going to put, again, 1 nail in each of these. I could put 2, but that is just a little bit of overkill, because once that glue dries, this whole project is going to be really strong. I'm going to make 2 sides. Once those are done, I'm going to put them up on their side and add some glue. Now these strips are 24 inches long. I'm going to do exactly like I did on the other ones. A strip at the top, a strip at the bottom for support, and then back to the top again, and lay out 6 of these pieces, matching the ones that I put on the other sides. Once those are down, I'm going to use just 1 brad nail in a line to hold the pieces in place. Once I get that all nailed up, I will be able to then flip the project over and do exactly the same. Starting with one side, I'm going to put the 24-inch piece in, nail it, and then put all the other pieces in and go up and down and nail every single one. I also need to build a brace to hold my bucket in the bottom of the project. I'm also going to start putting a trim around the top. This is where I'm going to bevel the edges at a 45 degree. Instead of just having a plain top, I want to put these beveled trim pieces on and give it a little bit of decor. Once I get those in with brad nails and glue, I'm ready then to go ahead and put the bucket in, but I need to drill some drain holes first. Once the bucket is in, the drain holes are done, then I'm going to add some potting soil. This is key right here. The best potting soil you can get will just make your project look really good. I put this one up by the front door. Once I get it done, look at that. It absolutely looks amazing. You can add some stain if you want. I will do that later on this project, but it looks absolutely amazing. I love it. This weekend project, I'm going to go down to Walmart. I'm going to pick up a storage bin. I'm going to start with some free pallet boards that I picked up from a construction site. The way to remove these boards is super simple. I'm going to cut down the sides first. That way it doesn't break up the boards by trying to remove all the nails. Once I get both sides cut, I'm going to wiggle it around to loosen it from the center support. Using a crowbar, or what we call a wonder bar, I'm going to go up and down and remove these boards. Once I do that, I can turn them upside down to remove the nails. Pop them on one side, use the claw on the claw hammer, and take them out on the other side. Once I do that, I'm going to measure the width of the storage bin, the height, and then I'm also going to measure the depth. Once I get that, I'm going to start with the sides. I'm going to measure this 1x3 at 32 inches, and I'm going to give it a cut. I'm actually going to need 2 of these for one side and 2 for the other. Once I get these cut, then I can go ahead and start cutting the pallet boards. This is going to be 15 inches for the depth, and I'm going to cut multiple pieces of this. I like the bare look of the pallet boards, also the rustic look. Once I get all these cut to 15 inches, I'm going to separate them all the way up and down on the support boards. Remember, I'm doing one side at a time, and then I'm going to space the boards and make them look even. Using my nail gun, I'm going to go up and down and put a couple of brad nails in. Now the sides I'm going to hold together and put a few boards in the back. I put the sides next to the storage bin so I got the perfect width. Once I get these brad nailed in, then it's time to work on the top. These are going to be the larger, wider boards. I only need 3 of them. Once I get those brad nailed on both sides and secured, I'm then going to have to put the middle and the end boards in. This will help me space them out correctly. Again, using that brad nail, I love it. I can secure all the sides while it's spaced out, and it's actually getting really strong as I'm putting it together. Again, this is just separated around. Now I need a bottom board also, and that's going to make it even stronger. I also need a shelf that I'm going to build in order to put the storage in. I took the drawers out, slid it in, make sure it fits just right, and put the drawers back in. They actually slide really nice. Now I'm going to put some trim pieces on the side to cover up some of the edges, and then I'm going to give it one more test to make sure those drawers close good. Once I get that done, it's time to bring it inside, and look at it. All decorated, it's the perfect height to fit under the window. I love it. It stores our blankets in the living room, little decor on top, and I love the rustic look of it. I got the nail holes to show and some of the stamps that come on the side of the pallets. It actually turned out really great, and I hope it inspired you to go ahead and grab that storage bin from Walmart and make it your own and build a nice frame for it.
Have you ever wanted to be more self-sufficient, but also stay on budget? Well, go ahead and head out to your local Walmart and grab one of these plastic drawer sets. Then get yourself some good quality seed starting mix and go ahead and moisten it up. A lot of the times when it comes out of the bag, it's super dry and you can't really do anything with that. Once you got your seed starting mix moistened, and you're going to want to grab a dry erase marker and label the 3 drawers on the bin that you bought. Once you've done that, set out some seed starting pots. These can be things that you've bought, or you can make them out of toilet paper tubes or newspaper. It doesn't have to be fancy. And go ahead and fill them about 3/4 of the way up with some of that moist potting soil or seed starting mix. You're going to take some seeds of your choosing, and you are going to place a seed or two in each of the pots. Now, and then take a few popsicle sticks and label them with what the seeds are. Next, you're going to take these full seed starting cups and you're going to place them inside those drawers. This is so perfect. The drawers are plastic, so you'll be able to water them right in the drawer and place them in a sunny spot, or at least a place that gets partial sun. And before you know it, just wait and see, you'll come outside and you'll find that you have some seeds that are sprouting and plants that are growing. It really is kind of like magic. Do you have a dark corner of your yard that needs a bit more light, but also some garden storage? So you're going to begin by getting a pair of post hole diggers and get started digging. You need this to be big enough for a 4x4 post. I got a 4x4x6, so there would be no cutting, and I went about 2 feet deep with this hole. Once you know you're at the right height, put your 4x4 in the hole and fill it back in with the soil that you took out. You're going to grab a few helpful things. One is a wall-mounted mailbox. You can find these really cheaply at your local hardware store. Then you can add anything you like. Here I've chosen to use a multi-purpose hook, and on the other side I'm adding a decorative wrought iron hook instead. Then I'm finally ready to add a solar light cap to the top of this post. It makes it look a bit more polished and finished, and it's also going to give light when it's dark outside. Then you're going to be ready to hang any supplies that you might like to have on hand when you're gardening, but you don't have room for a full potting bench or a storage container or something like that. And the great thing is that at night, this solar light comes on and it gives you a nice little bit of light in a dark corner of your yard or garden. It's just beautiful and it serves so many purposes. I hope you guys found this helpful.